الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أفضل المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يسعدني أن أقف أمامكم هذا اليوم، وهي مفاجأة عظيمة لي أن أشارككم في تكريم حفظة القرآن ممن أنعم الله عليهم بهذه النعمة.
It delights me to come in front of you today in this sudden event and do takreem to all the people who are going to recite Quran and blessed with memorization of it, and it's a blessing to all these kids and to us inshallah.
قال تعالى في كتابه العزيز بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. نعم، إن القرآن الكريم إنما جاء هدى للمتقين، والقرآن الكريم إنما جاء هدى لكافة الناس. لم يقتصر القرآن الكريم على المسلمين فقط، بل جاء ليهدي كافة أبناء البشر، لقوله تعالى في كتابه العزيز: شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس. هدى للناس، إذن فهو لا يقتصر فقط على المسلمين، بل هو هدى لكافة الناس.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah says in the Quran Kareem, Bismillah, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. This book, it's very clear, there is no confusion about it. It's clarity and guidance to the Muslimin. And it's for all Muslims. It's not for anyone, young adults, for everyone. It is, and like Allah says, it's you know, in the ayah, it's guidance for people, and all the way to شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيها القرآن. The Ramadan month, the one that the Quran came in, it's barakah and guidance للناس. To all the people, and it's huda and furqan. It gives them clarity from right and wrong. You use it, you always be guided.
ويقول رسولنا الأعظم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم: خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه.
And Rasulullah says, the best of you are the ones who learn the Quran and also teach it.
فسعادتي هذا اليوم بمن علم القرآن وبمن تعلم القرآن سعادة كبيرة لا أستطيع أن أعبر عنها، وأنا هنا أتواجد في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وأعرف ما هي الصعوبات في أن يتم مثل هذا الأمر العظيم.
My happiness I cannot even describe. I know in the United States how hard it is to learn Arabic, how hard it is to teach Arabic, and alhamdulillah, it's so happiness, bring excitement and happiness to me to see so many of you are learning it and teaching it to others.
واسمحوا لي أن أطلب من طلاب القرآن، ممن تعلم القرآن، أن يقفوا كي أتعرف عليهم وكي أحييهم.
And please, if I may ask of the kids who are learning the Quran, if they can stand up so I can see them and meet them.
Those who are the participants.
Yes.
Those who are participating.
Where's the kids who memorize Quran? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Those who are reciting today.
Yes, those who are going to recite today.
All the participants of today's contest, please
Stand up.
stand up. All the kids,
ما شاء الله ما شاء
students
الله.
of Quran.
هؤلاء الأولاد أحباءنا، يعني يعجز اللسان أن يشكرهم وأن يهنيهم على هذه النعمة الكريمة.
Those beloved kids, the tongue cannot even describe how I can say shukr and congratulations for this blessing of memorizing the Quran. Inshallah, it will be a great ni'mah for you.
إن شاء الله. أنا متأكد. تريح. شكرا. تريح.
Please sit down.
أنا متأكد بأن أهالي هؤلاء الأولاد الأحباء من المؤكد أنهم يفخرون بكم أنتم يا حفظة القرآن.
I am so sure that your parents are so proud of you and all of us for memorizing the Quran and coming here today.
ولا يفوتنا طبعا أن نشكر من علمهم القرآن، فلهم تحية أخرى كبيرة منا على عملهم في تحفيظ أولادنا القرآن الكريم.
And also we need to thank everyone who memorized the Quran and who took the effort to train these kids and other kids in memorizing the Quran and passing that knowledge.
رسولنا الأعظم يحثنا على العلم فيقول اطلب العلم من المهد إلى اللحد.
Rasulullah, our Prophet, always says, learn, and he wants us or urge us to learn Islam and the Quran from the moment, or the ilm in general, any science, from the moment we're born all the way to our death.
وليس عبثا أن رب العالمين اختار أول آيات نزلت على رسولنا الأعظم محمد سورة اقرأ، اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق، خلق الإنسان من علق، اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم، علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. وهذه الآية على صغرها تكرر فيها ذكر العلم والقلم واقرأ عدة مرات كي يؤكد لنا هذا القرآن العظيم على أهمية العلم.
It is no accident that the first ayah came in Quran is Iqra. And Iqra it basically is learn or read. And it was so much, so much repeated so many times between Iqra and learn and so forth, so many times. And basically it emphasized and enforced that even from Allah, the first thing in Islam he pushed is the learning and teaching and the importance of ilm.
قال أحد الصحابة الأجلاء تسلح بالعلم فإن كنت فقيرا فإنه مالا لك، وإن كنت غنيا فإنه جمالا لك.
One of the Sahaba poets said, arm yourself with knowledge. If you are poor, it's going to be your fortune and richness. And if you are rich, it's going to be your beauty.
وقال عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه لا أحب أن أرى أحدا منكم سبهللا. سبهللا أي لا يعمل أي شيء، يجلس ولا يعمل أي شيء. لا أحب أن أرى أحدا منكم سبهللا لا في علم ينفعه في الدنيا ولا في علم ينفعه في الآخرة.
And Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu said, I don't want to see any of you sitting around doing nothing, wasting his time in things that doesn't help him in actions or amil that doesn't help him in this dunya, and nothing that helps him in his akhirah neither.
فأيها الأحبائي الأعزاء أشغلوا أوقاتكم بالعلم واعلموا أن أفضل العلوم هو علم القرآن الكريم.
And oh my dear beloved brothers, always spend your time in knowledge and learning and learn more and more the Quran Kareem.
ولا تكونوا ممن يقتلون الوقت ولا تكونوا ممن يقتلهم الوقت.
And don't be one of the ones who waste their time, and don't be one of the ones that the time kill them.
فالوقت هو من أعظم النعم التي أنعمها الله علينا، ولا يكون شكرنا لله على هذه النعمة إلا باستغلال الوقت بما يفيدنا لدنيانا وآخرتنا.
And the time is one of the most blessings that Allah gave it to us, and we should not be wasting it except for things that will help us in dunya and akhirah.
سيروا على بركة الله والله يرعاكم. أشكركم على هذه الفرصة التي منحتموني إياها لأقف هنا أمامكم، وبارك الله فيكم، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
Allah guide you in His ni'mah and under His shade and guidance. And thank you so much for having me here, and a blessing to all.
Thank you.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, and so just for demonstration purpose, I know that we have, mashallah, a good number of participants here, and some of them will be coming later. But just for a demonstration purpose, I have asked or requested Brother Abdul Majid, who is Hafiz, to recite some verses from Quran, and then after that we will have our public speaker. So after that, Brother Razin Azim will take.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فلما فصل طالوت بالجنود قال إن الله مبتليكم بنهر فمن شرب منه فليس مني ومن لم يطعمه فإنه مني إلا من اغترف غرفة بيده فشربوا منه إلا قليلا منهم فلما جاوزه هو والذين آمنوا معه قالوا لا طاقة لنا اليوم بجالوت وجنوده قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو الله كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين ولما برزوا لجالوت وجنوده قالوا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين فهزموهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت وآتاه الله الملك والحكمة وعلمه مما يشاء ولولا دفاع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو فضل على العالمين تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وما الله يريد ظلما للعالمين صدق الله العظيم.
الله أكبر.
تكبير.
الله أكبر. تكبير.
الله أكبر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Razin Alim. I'm the chair of the conventions. We have a small change in our program just to make sure that we all benefit from the events that are available. The Qiraat competition will continue, but we have another session which was going to be in parallel, but we're going to have it today in the same room, which is to discuss the situation of Muslims attending public schools. Most of you are parents and many of you have your children in public schools, so I think this will be very beneficial discussion for us, and then we will continue the Qiraat competition after lunch, inshallah. We have two speakers today, and I would like to invite the first speaker, and I will keep the introduction very short because of the lack of time, and I know that she has another commitment as well. Sister Suzanne Kamal Muhammad has been very active in our community. She has been very active with the school board in the school district where she works, and you may have also remembered that she was running for office in that school district, and we always get encouraged by people who take the leadership role and try to have Muslim representation everywhere. So without much delay, I'll invite Sister Suzanne to speak to you for a few minutes, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Suzanne Kamel Muhammad. I'm actually a parent of two girls who are now in fourth year of college, and she's doing special education. And the second one is a sophomore in college. I was invited to come and speak to you actually about my experience with the public schools. And what benefit that, what did I do, and what benefit that, inshallah, for us as Muslims. My kids went to Plainfield schools. Most of you know that Plainfield has the Islamic Society of North America, and that's why actually why we moved and lived there, because of the Islamic center there. It was apparent that, you know, if my kids are going to go to a non-Islamic school, I have to do something to be able to actually know what is going on in their schools, what they are facing in their schools, how they are receiving their education. Otherwise, why I would put them in non-Muslim schools. So that became to me like, you know, why did I involve in the schools? At first, you know, it was because I put my kids in non-Islamic schools. So I came to know, like, okay, if I want to work with them, what should I do? So I put for myself, you know, items or things, you know, I should know about the school. So I said, what is the or the public school system works? How the public school system works? What it is, how is the environment for the schools and the teachers? And how would be the parents involved in the school, with the schools, with the teachers, with the school administration, with the, and so forth, with the parents. What I did actually was just like going with them first. I say, how can I get to the school system? So the first thing was to do, you know, just to volunteer in the schools. And since my kids were in kindergarten, I started doing that. So I started going to the school and say, okay, my kids in your school, how can I help? And it was really amazing that they just, oh, you can help us? We have all list of things that you can help with. First thing, that's to be volunteer 1 or 2 days in the class, you know, just to help with reading. Apparently English is not my first language, still I was able to read, to help them in reading. Help them after that with the school trips, help them with lunch breaks, you know, anything that they will ask me to do, I start doing it with them. That allowed me to do several things. One thing, that I came to observe what is going on in the classrooms, and how the teachers are conducting their classes with my kids, how my kids are there, how they are, my kids with the other kids, what influence it could be. The second thing is that the kids, if the teachers needed any help, I would be there. So they start developing that trust between me and them. They can ask me for things. Apparently I wear my hijab, so I'm a Muslim. So when I introduce myself, I'm a Muslim parent, you know, for Muslim kids. Ramadan came, so I explained to them what does Ramadan means. When my kids were young and they were not fasting, still I would be fasting, I would explain that. When my kids became in an age of fasting, I would explain to the school what fasting means. What can they do with our kids in the school? When my kids are fasting, apparently they have to go to the lunch cafeteria not to eat, but you know, I would explain that there is another alternative. Yeah, they can take them maybe to the library, maybe they can do a session with them. Anything that, you know, I would be available for them to do, if, you know, not going to the cafeteria. They would ask me and my kids, how come you can fast, you know, from sunrise to sunrise, set, you know, and not eat anything? Can you drink anything? No. My kids became involved afterwards with the sports, you know. Sports is not easy to do, you know, when people are fasting. I would explain that. My kids will exhibit to them, no, we can do that as Muslims. We can fast and play sports. We can fast and go to school. So it became, step by step that when you are involved in the school, the teachers will be educated about your Islam gradually. And this is the thing. I developed trust between me and the teachers, and then I developed trust between me and the administration, and then between my kids and their friends and parents. And then became like, apparent that, if there is a problem, it was so easy for me to go and speak about it. So they would not, it was not something new that they would see me coming to speak about something. They trusted me in speaking about something because they have seen me in the school, and with the kids all the time. From that, I came to know, okay, what Muslim can do. This is one thing that I noticed, that there are so many kids in the schools. I don't see that many parents come. Why the Muslim parents come to the school to help with the kids or to present themselves as Muslim parents? Many factors. Could be like we are afraid to be in a different environment that is not an Islamic an environment foreign to us. Maybe not able to answer questions that they would ask. Maybe we are not yet ready for the challenges in the schools that we see, that it doesn't really go with the Islamic way of doing things, or it is not, our kids will not be able to go with it. And then we come and explain to the school that, well, this thing is really not Islamically, and can we excuse our kids and what we can do. For example, when Halloween comes, what can you do to educate the school about Halloween is really not a religious even thing to do, and how you can get your kids away from that. But I just tell you about that in Plainfield schools now. They don't celebrate Halloween, but they call it a fall festival. So they actually celebrate fall instead of celebrating Halloween. It will become to be like other things like Christmas. First of all, we believe in Jesus, so it's not something we don't believe, but we don't celebrate Christmas. What we can do in order for us to excuse ourselves from doing things that we don't believe in, but still, give them the trust that we are not too foreign from you or too far from you, but we are still have things that we don't want to do. So all these things, just as advice for any of you as parents, first get involved in the school with your kids. It's very, very important. And do it with the simplest thing. Don't feel shy that you are having your hijab on. Actually, it's a plus. It's more plus than the brothers, because you go and tell them, I'm a Muslim here. It gives this not only your kids, but all the Muslim students in the school and the school district, the strength that I see a Muslim parent coming here working, and they are not afraid to present themselves as Muslims there. They are strong, They take that power from you to build themselves powerful, inshallah. So I would really, what I would do, and I advise all the parents to do, just to be involved in the school from the beginning. Start with your classroom and go on. The other thing is that, you can help with is the PTOs. I see that, are you aware of the PTOs in the schools? How many of you have been even thought about going in a PTO meeting? Very good, mashallah. Okay. Did you try to go and to be?
I'm on the board.
Are you on the board? Very good, mashallah. Which schools are you in?
Northwest Allen in Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, mashallah. Anybody in the Indianapolis area board of schools at all? You can be actually in Indianapolis IBS school boards, the big one, not the whole thing. It's an opportunity to go in the board schools. They put the legislation. They make the rules and laws, for your school, where your kids go to. If you are involved in that, you have a voice. You have a voice to let them know that this thing, discuss it. At least know what the laws they are gonna put. In Plainfield High School, they maybe 3 years ago, they put a new, they revised their bylaws. And one of the things they were looking at the dress code. And guess what? In Plainfield schools, they distinctly say that no hats, nothing on the head, except if it is for religion purposes. And they put that because of the number of Muslim kids in the schools, seeing parents and seeing some kids, alhamdulillah, some girls that they are wearing their hijab there. So they put that on purpose, so the kids can be allowed, officially allowed to put the hijab on. But this would not come without us being involved there and parents being involved there, inshallah. I don't know how much time do we have.
You have a few minutes more. Yeah.
2 minutes, okay, inshallah.
Sister, quick
So
question.
I would, yes.
What's PTO?
What's the speaker on?
No, what's PTO? PTO.
Oh, the teacher, okay,
Organization.
parent-teacher organization, and each school has a parent-teacher association or organization, depends on your school, and it's the board in the school of the teachers, or actually of the parents, that would help with the, and one representative from the teachers and the school principal to help running the school, some of the activities, but also look at the laws, bylaws, different things that the school do, curriculum, activities like, the Christmas, the holidays, activities, a lot of things. And actually from the PTO, if you are a member of PTO, automatically you have to attend the school board administration, which is the highest legislative office in the school district. And that takes you to a really another level of contribution to you and to your community. If you are representative in the school board, you are there, with all the board members deciding what the whole school, all the schools in your school district will do. You have a big voice there. It's a very, very powerful thing to do. And being a Muslim there, it's a great plus. If you are not there, who's going to represent the Muslim? Who's going to represent our kids? So, from that, just giving this quick thing, overview. Really, the time is very short if you want to talk about the whole contribution, what you do, and how you do it. But I know in Plainfield schools, high school, we did, or the kids have the MSA, which is the Muslim Student Association, is a club. Can all of you, if you are in high school, you can have a club and you can have the Muslim club there? You have the right to. The Christians have their club. There is a Christian Association club, or I don't know what they call it exactly right now, but there is one club that, for Christian students to help, raise money for different things. Muslims can do the same thing. In any high school, they can do that. But if our kids are not aware of that, they will not be able to do it. I think our involvement would really help to support the kids and really support us as a Muslim. I think the only way we can get into the system, get it slowly, gradually, peacefully, respectively, know what we want and go for it, And people are very receptive to what you want if you know what you want first, and then bring it to them in very respected way and also open-minded way. And don't go with an attitude, I'm a Muslim, I know better, my religion is better than you. No. I'm there, I want to understand the system, I want to bring my issues, I want to suggest something to do. And I think step by step, inshallah, as Muslim parents, can help our kids. I can see a lot of our kids who already graduated from our schools are doing the registration, are doing, they are very much involved on colleges now, and inshallah, when they become parents, I'm 100% sure, inshallah, they will be more involved in the school. So I think with that, I'm gonna, close my speech so I can give a chance to actually, by the way, before you introduce her, I would like to talk about what she did, inshallah, and that's how affect our schools. Sister Sadia is going to talk to you about very important issues and how she actually handled it very, very professionally. This issue has been, can be resolved too by having you in curriculum committees. In the school here, every 6 years, the school changed their curriculum, okay? And they don't change all the curriculum at once. So every year they choose 2-3 subjects to change the curriculum and affect the school for 6 years. So if you are an active parent, you can go and ask them, I would like to be in the committee. Or you are active there, you will know that this will be coming up. And you can go and volunteer. I would like to be in the curriculum committee. And one of them is the history committee, history and social studies books that where they talk about Islam. So for that, I will just, inshallah, let her talk. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you very much. I was wondering, would you mind answering a couple of questions? If anybody has one or two questions, very briefly, yeah?
They allow the women to wear their hair coverings. Do they allow the boys to wear theirs in schools, in public schools?
Well, the women fought for it. The men
Right.
have to fight for it and just tell them a reason.
So when did the men get a chance to do that?
But it's another thing. Is it as a religious, we have as women to wear our hijab. As a man, it would be more than, you know, when you go to the masjid only you wear it. You don't have to wear it in the school. So you have to be very careful of what you're asking for. So you ask for things which is like you must, you have to do it. But things like, can I do it? Well, no, because there is a dress code. Then others, can I wear my baseball cap too? Can I do this? Can I do that? So you have to be really, if you want to go with something, you have to make sure that what you are asking for.
Kufis.
I don't think kufis and like, okay, you don't have to be cultural, and you don't have to be something that would be really not needed for your religion. Kufi is not.
Right. The risk is if you ask for something
Yeah.
that's beyond what's religiously required, then you're putting at risk the achievement that the sisters have just for the religious requirement. So I think we have to move on. If there are additional questions, inshallah, or if you have, if you would like to get involved in your school and be on the PTO and inshallah on the school board and so on, and you would like some information, I'm sure Sister Suzanne would be willing to share her experience, and you can contact me or MAI, and we will put you in touch, inshallah.
Jazakallah. Go for school boards, okay?
Inshallah. School board. There you go. All right? Let's make that a target. So next I would invite Sister Saida Siddiq to speak about her experience, which has to do with the curriculum and specific issues related to how Islam is presented in the curriculum. And I would request that she introduce herself so we have a chance for more time for her, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Saida Siddiq. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a certified teacher. I'm a science middle school teacher and also biology for high school. First of all, thank you, Ms. Alliance of Indiana, for having me here. I'm asked to speak today about my experience, our family experience about a month ago with Fishers High School. My daughter, Fida, is in 10th grade in Fishers High School. One day she came home with 30 pages reading material from her social studies, actually world history class. They're doing actually 2 weeks unit on the rise of Islam. And actually this reading material is part of other things that the teacher gave to the student also. He was giving also PowerPoint presentation. The student will be doing research and also reading assignment from the textbook. The reason my daughter shared the reading material with me is because she felt that something is not right about it. My daughter, I would not say that she has above average knowledge in Islamic information, but she does sense that something is not right in that reading packet. My husband and I went over the packet very carefully, and this is what we found. First of all, the language style. We feel that the language style is very colloquial, given the subject matter. We thought in a seerah, the language has to be very respectful, but we don't feel that it's there. And also the facts, the historical facts and the Islamic facts. There's a lot of inaccuracy, bias, unfairness that we feel in that packet. Some of the examples that I'm going to give is that it says hadith is not recorded during the time of the Prophet. It says that it's recorded long after he passed away. It also mentioned that the Quran is not finalized during the time of the Prophet. It says that it is finalized, like way after he passed away also. And it says that only some Muslims believe that Quran is the word of God. Only some, not all. And we were hoping that at least he presented a balanced perspective of issues. And also, this is what drive us crazy, says that we don't know when the Quran is revealed. We don't know, when and where the verses are revealed. And then there's the issue of the overall tone of the reading material. When comparing the Quran with the Bible, there's some indication that the Bible is more superior than the Quran. It mentioned that Prophet Muhammad and his Sahaba were thieves. When they were intercepting Abu Sufyan's caravan coming from Syria, they were saying that they jumped on the caravan, and actually the purpose was Prophet Muhammad was trying to recover some of the losses of their property being confiscated whenever they left for Medina. And also there's a lot of times when he mentioned that the Prophet is somebody who has a lot of issues with the Jews. A lot of times, something happened, oh, he's going to kill the Jews. Something happened, oh, he's going to kill the Jews. So, that's very consistent message there. We also realized that something similar happened about 2 years ago. So I went ahead and talked to the student. She was also in Fisher's High School. It turns out that it's the same teacher, and it's the same world history class. And it turns out that it could possibly be the same reading material too, with the issue that the student brought, that the student raised, removed from the reading material. So the next day I called the school. I called the school right away. I called the principal's office. I talked to the administrative assistant of the office of the principal. She was very, very helpful. She was very helpful. She was very open. She was very concerned. She immediately told me the protocol of the school, what I should do. She told me, first of all, I have to resolve the issue with the head of the department and also the teacher. And then she said, if you're not happy, then you can talk to the curriculum director with the assistant principal. So I called the department chair. I leave a message. And at the same time, I also I write briefly about what happened and how I'm disappointed about this issue. And I CC the email to the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, the curriculum director of the district, and also the curriculum director of the school, so that they know what's going on. Especially because this is the second time this is happening. I received a call from the department chair right away. She called me right away, and she was very open, like I said. She was very respectful. She promised me that she's going to read the reading material sentence line by line, she said, so that when we come to a discussion, we can talk about everything that's an issue to us. So we had the meeting 2 days right after my phone call. The principal came out and greeted me and my husband. The teacher was very, very warm. We feel comfortable right away. We feel that they want to hear what we have to say. Overall, the meeting went well. It was about an hour. We wish it was longer. The teacher was very open to our corrections. He doesn't say that he accepted it, but he sit there and he listened to all of our, especially the historical inaccuracy. The language issue, they said this is the teaching technique. They would, the language being colloquial is because they're reaching high school kids who more than likely will not be interested in this material. So there's a lot of, slang in that packet. And obviously, as Muslims, we don't want, when people talking about Sirah, they're talking about it in a colloquial way. But then, this is how they're going to be doing it. So we thought, we tried to be understanding this time, this issue. The department chair actually agreed on some of the negative terms that's being used in the packet. And the teacher actually admitted that his resources mainly are books from the bookstores in the local area. And I don't know how many of you are aware about what kind of books are in the bookstores. They're horrible books. They're horrible books. A lot of it are present negative views about Islam. That's another place where we can actually we can call the manager of bookstores and tell them we want these books to be in the bookstores. They will respond to that because you're customers. They have to listen to you. And also we remind them that we share with them that has a historical accuracy, especially the Sirah part of the history, is very important to us. And, it's part of our belief. So it has been, scrupulously recorded and rechecked and researched. And it's not just in our perspective. It is also work that has been done by scholars who are not Muslim. Scholars with big calibers, work that comes from big universities. So it's not just coming from us as parents who are concerned about this issue. And also we shared about about the importance of working for peace and justice. I truly presented to them that in today's world, this is very, very important. And this packet is not representing, peace and justice, towards Muslim in general. Also, another thing that is an issue in that packet is the teacher, in a lot of places, quote Bernard Lewis. I don't know if you're familiar with Bernard Lewis. It's very, biased towards Islam, and he doesn't feel that way. Obviously, he's young. I'm not trying to, justify whatever he's doing. Given his experience, given his full experience, I think that's probably one of the reasons that, this packet come up the way it is. We shared also with him the work of Tariq Ramadan. I think Tariq Ramadan work is very relevant and very important to us, living here in the West. I don't know whether you're familiar with his work. I haven't read much about his work, but then I think what his focus more is on our integration as Muslims in the society without losing our identity, keeping our identity strong and healthy. So I share his book, Tariq Ramadan book, with the teacher, and actually he borrowed it from me. He offered to borrow it from me, the book Footsteps of the Prophet and the Footsteps of the Prophet, which chronicles the events and the seerah, and at the same time giving analysis, a very, very good analysis of why things happen and why Prophet Muhammad decided to do certain things. So that book is very scholarly. Tariq Ramadan graduated from Oxford University, so it has very high caliber. Actually, the same day of the meeting, the teacher showed in the classroom also 2/3 of a 3-hour documentary called Islam's Empire of Faith. I don't know any of you familiar with it. It's an excellent production about Islam from the time of the Prophet's birth till the end of the Ottoman Empire or something like that. It was shown on PBS a few years ago. So he showed 2/3 of that movie in that time. So we were very glad that he decided to do that even before we had the meeting. And those of you who are not familiar with the producer of that video, it's produced by Unity Production Foundation. They have produced a lot of excellent movies and film. If you check their website, you can even host dialogues. They have something called 2,000 dialogues that they can provide you DVD. They can provide you with information of how to host a dialogue by showing their films. So basically, actually, I received an email from that teacher yesterday after a follow-up email that I sent 2 weeks after the meeting. He said that he take our comments to heart. So I think that that is very important for me to hear from him. And he said that he will sit with the social studies teacher, with the head of the department chair, and then he will try to revise it and also provide a more balanced perspective of Islamic history. So I'm really glad to hear that. Basically, some of the things that I have learned is whenever we're dealing with public school officials and teachers, I think first and foremost, and Sister Suzanne has mentioned a lot before too, that it is very important to be very diplomatic.